Hello, my name is Eddie Eastep and today we will be analyzing JPMorgan Chase. The purpose of analyzing JPMorgan Chase is not only to identify their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but also to pinpoint their alternative strategies, which will help them become the largest bank in the world. JPMorgan Chase is one of the oldest financial institutions in the United States, with a history dating back to 1799. Over the past 200 plus years, JPMorgan Chase has developed into the largest bank in the United States and one of the largest banks in the world. For example, today, JPMorgan Chase has assets totaling more than $2.44 trillion and over 240,000 employees located throughout 60 countries around the world. For any firm of this magnitude, there is a plethora of external threats and opportunities. However, key external threats include increased government regulations and competition, such as Bank of America and Citigroup. In 2010, President Barack Obama signed the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. The Dodd-Frank Act will increase fees on banks, limit future bailout opportunities if needed, and also create roughly 14,000 new regulations by 2015. Regarding competition, Citigroup and Bank of America are not far behind JPMorgan Chase, with assets totaling $2.12 and $1.89 trillion. Although JPMorgan Chase faces various threats, key opportunities include consolidations or acquisitions and expansion into new markets. For instance, ruling out a merger or acquisition is not out of the question for JPMorgan Chase due to the substantial amount of capital and assets that the firm has. Moreover, there are a significant amount of emerging markets throughout the world. According to Ernst & Young, bank credit to the private sector will grow by over $1.5 trillion between 2013 and 2018. The internal environment, strengths and weaknesses are just as important as JPMorgan Chase's external threats and opportunities. Key weaknesses of JPMorgan Chase include fees and poor cybersecurity systems. In August 2014, Chase was involved in a tremendous data breach. The data breach affected roughly 76 million households and 7 million small businesses. Chase notified customers that vital information such as social security numbers, passwords, usernames, and account numbers were not stolen, but information such as addresses, names, and phone numbers may have been compromised. Moreover, key strengths of JPMorgan Chase include their capital strength and public image. For example, their balance sheet and easy access to substantial capital allow for JPMorgan Chase to explore new markets or test product development. According to their 2014 10-K, JPMorgan Chase has cash totaling more than $27.8 billion and assets totaling more than $2.44 trillion. Furthermore, their assets have increased tremendously over the past 2 years. For example, between 2012 and 2013, their assets increased roughly 4.8%, and between 2013 and 2014, their assets increased around 2.9%. JPMorgan Chase's key challenges are increasing government regulations and their competition. Government regulations do not only increase fees and expenses on the bank, but can also lead to substantial settlements that affect JPMorgan Chase's bottom line. For example, JPMorgan Chase has agreed to pay roughly $20 billion in penalties to resolve government investigations. Remember, credit unions, banks, and other investment firms create competition for JPMorgan Chase. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2010, there were roughly 7,666 federally insured financial institutions in the United States. Furthermore, JPMorgan Chase also has international competition. The largest bank in the world is still the Bank of China with just over $3 trillion in assets, while JPMorgan Chase ranks 6th. Therefore, I believe it is clear that JPMorgan Chase's most important challenge is their competition. JPMorgan Chase can implement a plethora of different alternatives, however, I believe that two stand out. One alternative surfaces as a result of bank fees. Bank fees often decrease customer satisfaction and can potentially cause the loss of thousands of customers. However, reducing fees and streamlining one process could be an excellent alternative for JPMorgan Chase. For example, JPMorgan Chase offers 4 different credit cards for 3 different airlines, which have annual fees ranging from $95 to $395. What if JPMorgan Chase offered one credit card with one annual fee that applied to all airlines? Not only would it be more efficient, but also it could be a revolutionary idea when it comes to frequent flyer miles and credit cards. A general perception regarding credit cards is that it is much easier to get a person to sign up for one credit card versus 2, 3, or 4 credit cards. Therefore, offering a unique frequent flyer card that applied to all airlines will not only be new to the industry, but also help to attract new customers. One of the largest threats to the economy in the future is crippling student loans, but this is an excellent way for JPMorgan Chase to create a strategic advantage over its competition. For instance, in 2013, 7 in 10 graduating seniors at public and private nonprofit colleges had student loans. These borrowers owed an average of $28,400 in federal and private loans combined, up 2% compared to their peers in 2012. One alternative to reduce debt but to get more people to take out loans from JPMorgan Chase is to offer a college loan repayment plan. Under this proposed plan, each time a person took out a loan, he or she would have to meet with an advisor from the bank. The advisor would explain the loan details and the incentive to take out the loan from JPMorgan Chase instead of from other competitors. Depending on the loan requirements, the bank would offer future discounts on a mortgage or reduce interest rates of student loans over time. This would only be done if portions of the loans were paid off within an agreed incentive time period. For example, if a student took out $50,000 worth of loans and planned on paying off these loans in 10 years, but made each incentive payment within the incentive time period, the bank could reduce the interest rate by 0.25% every 2 years. Now, once again, reducing the interest rate would depend on the loan stipulations discussed with the advisor, but this would create an incentive for students to pay off their debt on time and decrease a bad debt expense for JPMorgan Chase. In conclusion, my strategic recommendation is for JPMorgan Chase to adopt my recommended student repayment plan. Not only will they create a strategic advantage over their competitors, but also it will create a lifelong customer by offering incentives towards paying off your student loans within the allotted time. Thus, by adopting recommended strategic alternatives and limiting and being aware of their external threats and internal weaknesses, there is no reason why JPMorgan Chase cannot become the largest financial institution in the world. You got it.